Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is December 25th, 2023. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Howard,
Merry Christmas. What'd you do? What'd you get? Anything good?
I got a few really interesting items. Like one of them is a balance board. So I guess I'll be learning to balance.
Oh, fitness for fitness.
Yeah, yeah. So it's fun.
Nice. And yeah,
What
it's been
about
great
you?
here in San Diego.
Did you get a lot of Chinese food?
Yeah, we did some Chinese. We're making some pasta tonight. We just have been sitting around, Ellen and I, not enjoying Florinado. No gas, no, we're not a gifty type of group of people. Life, life is good. All right, take us through what a year.
Yeah, just incredible considering how much were the indices down the previous year. Like the
Mhm.
QQQ was down what 30% in 2022, even
Mhm.
more some of the major stocks, like full recovery, new all-time highs. It was just hit last week. The S&P is not too far behind, and then we're finally seeing small caps and micro caps outperforming, which it's a characteristic of a bullish market.
Mhm.
Last week we saw like a quick afternoon shakeout, like on Wednesday, like for no reason at all. It was just, I guess, people taking profits and stocks getting hit. We had like a pretty significant shakeout on Wednesday, like full recovery in the next couple of days. And I see the more of these shakeouts we see, I think people probably become a little bit more careful. And crypto isn't complete fire. It just seems unstoppable. Solana's up 1,000% this year. Bitcoin up 300%.
Yeah. If there, the grayscale still, this Ethereum is still trading at a discount. Um,
Yeah,
which is
this
good
is
of them.
longer term. Yeah. So
Yeah.
crypto
That's
related.
why I think Ethereum's kind of lagged itself, but like Coinbase has always been the trade here. It's gonna,
Well, Coinbase is definitely the leader here in terms of publicly traded stocks. It's still pretty far from its IPO's highs. If you look at it on a weekly basis, like the next potential technical resistance could be around
but it's kind of like Spotify. I don't think they did a typical IPO, did they? Didn't they just do like
Spotify.
Spotify?
Is a little bit
Isn't
longer price history and still.
no, but I think they did the same thing. They didn't do a typical IPO. They just took a Dutch
Oh, they just.
auction.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember about Coinbase. Yeah, I'm
Which was
not.
great for Coinbase. They maximized what the hype was at the moment. So, for all intents and purposes, this is really an all-time high. Anybody who wanted out got out, like with the SEC. I mean,
Yeah,
that's why
stock was down more than 90%.
yeah, but everybody who needed to
Right.
sell sold. Yeah. So this is an Amazon moment. Will it mark time for a while? I mean, I think the biggest thing helping crypto right now is that the Fed just stopped raising rates, right? Like the dollar's getting weaker. That's good for crypto. And the Fed's going to go into theoretically uh, a cutting era
Yeah, the 10
again.
year went from
So,
five.
the markets are just a little more efficient, front running. And so crypto's having a great run. But again, I don't know the fundamentals there other than macro. Um, so yeah, it's risk on. There's
The
risk
market
on in general.
tends to discount, in 2 weeks can discount, the good news for the next 2 years. And
Mm-hmm.
often does that. It often overshoots to the upside and to the downside, or just overreacts to
Mm-hmm.
any type of news. So other than all like the crypto related plays, the tiny Bitcoin crypto miners and blockchain plays, I mean, really almost everything is working. Even cannabis stocks that's been like the biggest stocks forever, even they woke up on Friday.
The
Uh,
difference is there, you still got the government, you still can't, I mean, it's easier to do crypto than it is to be a weed business. So I think you gotta, it's fine for people that really understand the industry, but man, I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, definitely that. If you look at the longer term charts, it's just probably the scariest charts.
Yeah, yeah. I think this could, I think technically if risk stays on, healthcare, biotech are going to play catch up. I was seeing another great technical guy that I follow.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Biotech's good. Starting to wake up.
I'm on some XBI here for JC and I, but it's 3 bad years in a row. If risk is coming on, you've got, you know, good crypto, you got a good semi-cycle going, you've got all the sequencing that can happen in the compute power. So I think there's going to be, if risk stays on, I think healthcare and biotech stocks kind of will benefit. Let's say IBB, I forget which one's equal weighted. Let me see the weekly and the monthly on that. I
Yeah.
think that's the
IBB is just mostly larger
larger,
biotechs.
but really there's that looks a little better
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
term. But
technically,
that's
yeah.
been going sideways for how many
Yeah, I mean, for a very
years now?
long time. It had a big rally here from 2011 to 2014 and basically sideways since then.
Mhm.
Done 9 years of going sideways.
Yeah, so I keep an eye on that this year. I think
We have stocks like, like Illumina or
there's a
Bio.
huge drawdown.
Yeah, just going sideways, so just down a lot for a
Yeah,
significant amount of time.
yeah. So I keep an eye here if stuff starts to break out. Okay. Other than that, it's the same story. Semiconductors, big cap
I
tech.
mean, really everything is working except China, really, right now. So it's China is like just continues to make new lows. And I see a lot of comments on social media like lately that said, "Oh, January is the strongest month for China." So I guess people still haven't given up on China, but it just keeps making new lows, and I'm not
I think people
sure.
won't get it, give up because it's easy to buy
Yeah.
exposure. And it's a big, because of the population and but basically you're buying the whim of one person. Um,
Well, yeah,
which
look
is
look at something
uh,
like ABA. I mean,
yeah,
it's
you're gaming Z, and I
trading
don't know.
low. It's
That's just not a system that is conducive to long-term investing versus the United States, which is profit-driven, story-driven, but also profit-driven in the US. So, oh, that came back. That was having a great run. So what happened here? That NetEase was outperforming, and then on the
it's a
week,
gaming company, and then on Friday they announced that they're going to limit the screen time for users. And,
oh, that's what I'm saying. Out of nowhere, I guess there was a warning a couple weeks back, but geez, that just took one of the better performing Chinese stocks and sunk it.
yeah, I mean, right now I think they only have what PDD that is kind of holding, like
Yeah,
I
but how do you trust that they're not going to curtail shopping?
and
Uh,
the educational ones. Yeah.
yeah, I still think your best e-commerce secular trend is e-commerce. So,
Software trend
Shopify still to me
holding well.
is holding well. I think Google's, you know, launch of their Chat Gemini is, even through that little correction there this week, it just kind of didn't flinch and finally is closing at like weekly highs. I don't know. Is that an all-time high? No, weekly highs.
2 week highs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's one that I'm watching closely. And then, for new positions, I'm just pretty long. So I'm not looking for new things. Um, unless the setup's for a trade or something fantastic. But a lot of speculation. It's January. There's a lot of people going to be trying to run out of
Yeah.
the gates.
Storing.
What does your portfolio look like right now? What are you doing?
So I mean, I'm long. I'm not super long. I'm like 50% long in like longer term swings, and the rest I just used to take short term trades, usually 1 to a few days.
And what's the hit rate been higher probably the last couple of months?
I mean, very high.
Yeah,
Basically almost everything has been working.
yeah.
Really, like I mentioned that I dived into like some of the 3 times long ETFs like TNA and the regional banks, DPST, and
Huh.
all of them have had, pretty significant moves. They've been really the leaders. Like the worst hit sectors from 2022, and
Well, they're up 100% in a
they,
month. Yeah.
they've been leading ever since the Fed gave the clue that they're done raising, and they're actually looking to probably cut rates next year. So all of those stocks, they were priced for some of them for bankruptcy, almost bankruptcy, just because the market was worrying that they have to raise money at much higher interest rates, and some of them might not survive. And it's the same story for biotech, as you mentioned. They're in the same group.
Mhm.
And as you can see, we saw that huge run, and this is why we have some setups like Moderna,
Yeah, that was written off
sideways,
basically.
and now starting to curl up a little bit. Always still in a big downtrend, so it's
Yeah, but I'm saying these were, unlike China, these are American companies that are starting to get written off. And
it's not probably
rates, I think
great.
the key's gonna be are rates higher for longer or rates, did rates peak out? I have no idea, but the higher for longer thing was happening. Everybody was committed to the higher for longer interest rates right in November, and that's when they peaked.
Yeah,
You know, with two wars going on, rates can't stay up here. So,
it's interesting.
for now, the coast is still pretty clear until the price action breaks down.
Yeah,
Oil,
I
you know,
mean, January historically, like, as you said, the first 2 to 3 weeks of January, small caps have been outperforming, even like in back during the Great Depression, in 1932, small caps still had a pretty significant rally early in the year. So
yeah.
I guess a lot of people are positioning for that again this year.
A
And
couple of the people that got this year mostly right. You're on a swing trading base, but on a longer term with just reading price action, where JC, who I do trends with friends with, and Ryan Dietrich, they tend to, they've stuck with their guns here, saying, when you have this much strength a year out, things generally look better. And, technically the odds favor, strength begets more strength. There's tons of money on the sideline. There's tons of people underinvested, and the news is, and you can't open that.
yeah,
Whether
considering the
whether
election,
it's fake news or made up news or propaganda or everybody's got an angle, and it's just no good news. And that's just not the way the world is right now. There's plenty of good news, and that's why stocks are, climbing this wall of worry. It's a question is, where do we rotate next? And could be healthcare, biotech, could just continue to be the same stocks that are working.
yeah, definitely. It seems to be biotech and just small caps in general
Yeah.
as of right now. Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Well, everybody, Merry Christmas. Not going to keep everybody for a long time. Have a great New Year's. What are you going to do for New Year's?
I'm just staying here in San Diego.
Okay, I'm heading back to Phoenix, but we'll see everybody next week.
All right. See you next week. Bye.